Look, Ma, who's starting on time. We try to do this every day at 11 a.m., right on the nose, and we are there right now. Welcome to the program. With Mike Smith, the icon, I'm Dan Ramey.
I'm the man in red today.
He is. You look like you're ablaze.
Fire engine red.
Well, I think that might be brighter than fire engine red.
Well, he's talking about the colors, not my personality.
True. Plus, he's also colorblind,
Yeah.
so, that's how it goes.
This could be orange for all I know. I don't know.
Coming up here at the end of the program, if you never watch our program all the way through, the last few minutes is usually spent with us talking about our radio days.
If we can think of something.
Yeah, indeed. So if you remember our radio show, a lot of people have always talked about really the stuff that had nothing to do with the news, nothing to do with what we were doing other than the filler stuff we did in between. That's the stuff they remember. So we'll try and remember something to share with you here in just a bit. So stick close for that. Plus this date in history we go back to.
Let me look. 1916. Yeah.
A man can't survive without notes.
Yeah.
He shows us there. All right, so all that's just ahead for you in just a moment. And don't forget, we've got a YouTube channel. This show will be available on YouTube a little bit later on this afternoon, as well as here on Facebook. And you can always follow us on Twitter as well. And we've got weather to share with you today.
We should have started exactly at 10:57. Because that's when the first
summer began,
moment
right?
of summer season began.
So here we are now 5 minutes into it.
5 minutes into summer. In case you didn't know, it's the first day of summer.
I'm sweating already.
Yeah. Here's what it looks like for today. Some sun and clouds mixed. We're going to be a little warmer than what we have been. It was actually kind of chilly yesterday with the rain that we were getting. High of 80 today. And we're going to see kind of peekaboo sunshine over the next several days, in and out of the clouds, and a slight chance of showers each day. But as Dan Ramey used to refer to it, the garden variety pop-up shower.
Yes. In fact, this is probably the reason why right here. Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to see a little progression on how this is moving. So if you had vacation plans for Virginia Beach this week, you're probably not liking the conditions. But we're seeing that a lot of this is developing over in the Atlantic, making its way to the East Coast. And I'm going to move this along for a little bit so you can see the progression of it. We won't get a whole lot of precipitation here in our part of the country, but if you are heading to the other side of the Appalachian Mountains, you will most likely get wet.
Yeah, my sister and brother-in-law are down in Florida with some cousins right now, and I think my wife, when she was watching the NBC Today show weather, she said, Marilyn Duane's getting rained on this morning. So
yeah, that's the cool thing about seeing the national weather. If you know somebody that's someplace else in the country, it's like, that's what they're experiencing right there. So, all right, coming up, a look at what's making news for us today. So stick close, but first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, it will take you right to their website to learn more. In fact, that's how most of our ads are connected, whether it be their websites or the social media. So if you want to find out more, click on this ad when you see it at littermedia.com for Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. News is next.
At Country Clipper, pride runs deep. We take pride in knowing our mowers help create a space for families to make memories. That our features transform mowing into an enjoyable experience. Most importantly, we take pride in knowing the decision to purchase a Country Clipper will be one you can be proud of for years to come. Country Clipper zero-turn mowers.
This portion of the program brought to you by Hometown Motors Incorporated. I accidentally hit back-to-back commercials there, so I apologize.
The boss says that's okay.
He's happy with that, I'm sure. Absolutely. All right, time to take a look at what's making news for us today. You can always go to our website to see what's going on. Just check out littermedia.com. But what do you have for us here first?
Well, not quite a month ago, we were saying goodbye to an old friend, and Tom Kuhn, as he retired from the Ross County Historical Society, and hopefully we're saying hello to a new friend today. Professor Darren Baker has been named the new executive director of the Ross County Historical Society. Now
he's not a baker,
no,
right?
No, that's not what he's a professor of.
But he's a woodworker.
Yes.
That's a woodworker's apron, not a baker's apron.
That's correct.
Okay.
He was a professor of art at both Ohio University and Shawnee State University. Lives close to the Ross-Pike County line, I guess. A lot of folks in the area know him and love him. People down in Pike County that had dealings with him said Ross County, quote, is in good hands. So welcome to the Ross County Historical Society, Professor Baker.
I bet he could put a round peg in a square hole.
Yeah. Actually, Tom is still on the job until June 30th.
Mm-hmm.
But
and we still have yet to get Tom in here. We need to get him in.
He's just such a modest guy. I don't know. He's one of those guys who wants to slip over the side quietly. I don't know. American Red Cross teaming up with Warner Brothers. Discovery for the 35th anniversary of Shark Week in July. Everybody knows about Shark Week. Well, there's plenty of fun to map out this summer, and the Red Cross encourages donors to join Camp Do Good and make a blood or platelet donation part of their summer bucket list this July. 7 blood drives are planned for Ross County in the month of July, 2 in Fayette County, and 3 in Highland County. I wonder if when they enlisted Shark Week as their promotion, whether they remember Jaws when he was biting people and all the blood in the water. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, let's capture some of that and put it in the bag and leave it for the Red Cross.
Let's not forget Pickaway County Fair is underway, and this is day 4.
That's correct. We're midweek. Yeah. So if you haven't been up to Circleville yet, get up there and see some of the activities.
I missed the llama and alpaca show.
Yeah. I wonder if Aaron Ridenour is in on that, because he and his wife have raised alpaca and llamas for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some kind of involvement with that. But motocross was yesterday, but autocross is tonight.
If you've never seen autocross, you got to go check it out. It is an absolute blast,
yeah.
Especially if there's been rain. It's even more interesting because the drivers who left the windshield on their car, if they have been trailing throughout the race, and they can't see anything.
Yeah, but think of what if you didn't have the windshield on, you wouldn't be seeing much anyway.
They've got a rocket launch at 1 o'clock. I'm going to guess that is a 4-H project.
I would hope.
Indeed.
Hopefully Elon Musk is not launching at the Pickaway County Fair now.
And their 4-H awards will take place tonight, just at the same time as the dairy and beef show. Be at separate locations: Heritage Hall South for the 4-H awards, and the beef show and the dairy show at the Pavilion, which is open air.
You must have been watching Elmer Fudd cartoons this morning. The Chillicothe JC's Christmas in July 5K is back. The race will be Saturday, July the 15th in Yaktangi Park. Sign-up includes a T-shirt, and you'll need to be signed up by June 30th in order to pick your own T-shirt size. Additional shirts will be available at the race. All proceeds go to help fund the JC's Special Santa Project. Hillsborough Festival of the Bells 5K Run and Walk will be Saturday, July the 8th. That's, again, over in Hillsborough. Race day registration, 7 to 7:50 a.m., and race start time is at 8. There's also a kids' dash that day at 10:30 a.m. with registration at 10. The Festival of the Bells in Hillsborough runs July 6th through the 8th. Area veterans can learn more as to whether they are eligible for more benefits under the 2022 PACT Act. We've had some interviews about this in recent months, but just want to keep this out in front of the veterans and their families, that if you haven't checked up on these potentially additional benefits, for the era of service that you were in, please do so. Help yourself there.
And if you want to see those interviews, you can go to our YouTube channel and enter in PACT Act on our Litter Media YouTube channel. Or you could also do the same thing here with the videos on Facebook. And search PACT Act. Elmer Fudd, you've got me going. Search PACT Act on littermedia.com. It'll take you to previous stories we've had on this as well.
That's correct. Staying on the veterans subjects, they're urged to make plans to attend the annual picnic of the American Legion's magnificent 7th District on Saturday, August the 12th. That starts at noon that day at Post 142 down in Waverly. I know that's out there a month or two away, but mark it on your calendar, veterans, and you are welcome to attend that event. Ohio's 104 public-use airports generate billions of dollars for the state's economy each year. Well, ODOT is asking for the public's help as it begins a comprehensive analysis and overview of airports to help identify needed improvements for future growth and sustainability. The Ohio Airport System Plan is updated every decade. The last report, released in 2014, found the airport system supports more than 123,000 jobs and produces an economic impact that exceeds $13 billion annually. Now, with Taylor Swift coming to Cincinnati at the end of June for a concert, Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost is reminding Swifties, that's those who are fans of Taylor, that scammers are looking to take advantage of those fans. Consumers who believe they have been defrauded in a purchase of a ticket should immediately report these details to the company they use to make the payment. I think a lot of this came to light when it wasn't necessarily fraud, but one of the ticket companies that was doing one of her recent concerts, it melted down because it was overrun. And anytime there's, I guess, a fault line found in a particular program, the scammers say, oh, well, looky here what I can take advantage of.
It's a window of opportunity.
Yeah. So just be careful out there when you're getting your tickets, and if you feel like something doesn't look right, give the AG a call.
Because it probably isn't right. Don't forget, we've got this active now on our YouTube channel and here on Facebook, too. Your visit with Visit Fairfield County's Jeanette Hyperfield.
Yeah, she's talking about the summer activities, not only in Lancaster, but Fairfield County as a whole. That's everything from little villages in the community, festivals they have, as well as what's happening in Lancaster and throughout the county. Fairfield County, if you didn't realize this, visitors, is well known for their covered bridges. And there's a lot of different programs out there for those of you wanting to take a weekend trip. Speaking of a trip, if you're heading down into Jackson, our road report tells us that there is work for a bridge replacement project between John Hoops Road and X-Line Road. Work will occur daily from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Now, the bridge is closed for a total of 45 days during this construction. The detours are State Route 32, State Route 93, and State Route 279, and they anticipate this project will be completed sometime this summer. And that's your topics for today.
All right. Topics for sports include 10 wins for the Reds.
How about that?
As it continues. Details are just ahead. But first, we want to take a moment to tell you about the folks who try their best to help clean up around here. Talking about the Scioto Valley Dumpsters Limited. You can give them a call at 740-253-8389. Now, they're not limited to just dumpsters. Mm-hmm. They do demolition service, they do cleanup, and in some instances, they'll clean up stuff for you and put it in the dumpsters.
I really like the way that sounds.
Haul it all away. You want to find out more? Give Carl a call at 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Sports next.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
At Rathkamp Financial, we offer customized investment solutions and superior client service. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
And they're looking for you today. Open interviews at McDonald's in Circleville, Chillicothe, Greenfield, and Waverly from 2 until 5 today. McDonald's!
I'm loving it.
Sports.
Paints at home last night came up on the short end, losing to the Lumber Kings of Clinton by a score of 7-3.
I forgot they're Lumber Kings. I think I called them Lumberjacks.
I'm sorry?
I called them Lumberjacks.
Oh, Lumberjacks. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now, Clinton, is that in North Carolina?
No.
That's not the Clinton, North
Tennessee.
Carolina. Okay.
This was the remember a couple of years ago they said they would be joining the Prospect League, and they had the brand new stadium and all like that. This is the team we're talking about.
Because there is a Lumberton, North Carolina near, and there's a Clinton down there, and that's why I got to thinking, well, maybe that's in North Carolina, but no, Tennessee. But the Paint's on the short end. Now they hit the road, right?
Yeah, for 4 straight games. And so they won't be back here until Sunday.
And tomorrow, when Dan's doing the news, he'll tell you about something of an alumni association that'll be at the Paints in July. That's tomorrow.
I thought you were going to say I would be talking about 11 straight wins for the Reds.
Well, we hope. This is an afternoon wrap-up this afternoon with the Rockies at 12:35 to see if they can win number 11. But this is the most wins in a row for a team that lost 100 games the year before since the year 1900.
During this stretch, and you can thank Joel Lubkop for a lot of this stuff because he's a Reds historian, and you look back, a lot of this, what we're hearing, like Abbott and the performance he's had, hasn't been anything like this since like 1903.
Right.
you know, and all of these things, you got to go back to like the first 10 years of the 1900s.
Exactly.
Incredible.
So, yeah, it's hard to grasp. If people weren't following the Reds closely last year, they forgot that they lost 100 games, folks, and here they are in first place. I didn't see what the Brewers did last night. They were ahead by 1 late in the game. But
if it wasn't a doubleheader, I didn't care because the Reds were okay.
Yeah, at least by a half a game. But, yeah, they go after the sweep, and number 11 in a row this afternoon at 12:35 at Great American Ballpark.
I got a good feeling.
The Guardians had a good feeling last night when they walked off a 3-2 win against the A's in 10 innings. That's up in Cleveland. They're back at it again later tonight. 16 varsity high school volleyball teams from around the state of Ohio will be in Frankfort this weekend for the 30th annual Adena Summer Volley in the Village tournament. Now, there's a JV tournament on Sunday with 15 teams. Some of the teams that are participating are from the area, Chillicothe, Hillsboro, a number of the SVC teams, but there are teams from St. Mary's, Ohio, Macomb, Berlin Highland is coming in, Buckeye Trail, which is clear up in eastern Ohio. So if you want to see some great volleyball and a preview of coming attractions for later this year, check that out this weekend. By the way, free admission, and they have a full a concession stand, but you can get more details on who all's there and what bracket they're in our website, story at littermedia.com.
And while you're there, take a look at the trophy case. Is there a picture of Mike Smith in the trophy case?
No, there's not.
Maybe the baton from the state champion relay team?
Well, no, we're not even on there.
Is that
and
right?
we were all Ohioans, and for some reason, when they put up the all Ohio list, they didn't go back that far. So... Is that
what's going on in
Adena
High School?
Not considered the modern era?
Recognize this guy? Do you know what he's done for the SVC?
Maybe it's not considered in the modern era. I don't know, but yeah. Oh well.
Back when they ran on cinders.
Yeah. Maybe I should dig up my parents and have them go complain to the Board of Education,
like everybody else.
Like everybody else does. Yeah.
You asked about Milwaukee. They defeated Arizona last night, 7-5. Arizona's on a bit of a slide, but they have still a half game back of the Reds. But I like this. The Reds, National League Central, the Reds are on top. Brewers are a half game back. The Cubs are 3.5 games back. 4 games back for the Pirates, who last week were leading the division. And the Cardinals are 8 games back. How it's flip-flopped.
When you look at their records, you would say on the surface that's the worst league or the worst division in baseball.
Sure.
But I can remember, I can't remember how many years back it was. That division was very competitive, but I think whoever won it that year ended up at least in the National League Championship Series. So records aren't always everything. And sometimes when you're beating up each other in your own division, your record is going to be balanced out like that. So.
In fact, if the Reds were in the American League Central, they would have a 3-game lead on everybody. The Twins are leading the AL Central by 1 game over the Guardians, and the Guardians are 34-38.
When is the Cleveland-Cincinnati games?
I can't tell you off the top of my head.
And are they still doing that back-to-back? One in Cincy, and then they go to Cleveland for the other? I think that the last few years they were doing
this
it that
year,
way.
everybody's playing everybody. And to be honest with you, I haven't looked that far ahead in the schedule to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So let me do that here real quick.
Of course, the team that we mentioned that the Guardians beat the A's last night, and I think we previewed this game yesterday. The A's are the worst team in baseball, literally, record-wise. They've only won like 19 games all year and 50-some losses. So
now, before the All-Star break, the Reds have some stiff competition coming along. They have, after they get done with the Rockies today, they'll have the Braves in town for 3.
Does that start Friday or tomorrow?
Starts tomorrow.
Okay.
I believe. Is that right? No. They'll have Thursday off. So Friday, the Braves come to town. And then Monday, they open up a set in Baltimore with the Orioles, who are 45-27. After they get done there, they come back to Cincinnati to host the Padres, who have a worse record than the Reds. They're 35-38 coming in. And then they'll have the Nationals, who have only won 27 games so far. And then a big series with the Brewers.
Yeah.
So the top 2 teams in the NL Central will duke it out before the All-Star break. So
I mean, the Reds are going to lose eventually, sometime. I mean, the longest win streak in history is, 22 by the New York Giants, the year they caught the Dodgers. And then if you've ever seen the movie Moneyball, the Athletics have the winningest or the longest win streak in American League history at 20. And here we're just talking about how bad they are this year. So
Reds and Guardians will play in August 15th and 16th. So they have 2 more games coming up with the Guardians.
A couple of months to go.
Thank you, Fox Sports, for allowing me to scroll through the app to find all that information out.
Yeah, sure.
All right, coming up in just a moment, this date in history and our radio moment. Radio Memories with Dan and Mike. The downside of Radio Memories is you can see us talking about it.
I was thinking of breakfast shows that we did. Maybe we can.
One of those places I had lunch at yesterday.
Is that right?
Yes. Details coming up, so stay close. It's Dan and Mike on a Wednesday. We've got a look at this date in history on the way next. For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Michelob Ultra.
Litter Media Wayback Machine is dialed up for 1916.
Yeah. While World War I has actually started, the United States on this date in 1916 was a kind of a war, although not a declared war. We weren't involved in Europe yet.
We were tracking a guy.
We were looking south. Yeah, on this date in 1916, the controversial U.S. military expedition against Mexican revolutionary Pancho Villa brings the U.S. and Mexico closer to war when Mexican government troops attack U.S. Brigadier General John Pershing's force at Carrizal, Mexico. Now, the Americans suffered 22 casualties and more than 30 Mexicans were killed. Against the protest of the Mexican government, Pershing had been penetrating deep into Mexico in pursuit of Villa. After routing the small Mexican force, the U.S. expedition continued on its southern course. But that's Pancho Villa.
The look he has just says, we don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah, look at the bandoleros around him, yeah. But yeah, he was infamous, but we get involved in what was known as the Great War a year later in Europe.
Yeah. And I don't recall, General Pershing was involved with that war, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
John J. Pershing.
All right. Okay, radio moments. We used to have a morning show here in Chillicothe, and we would at times go out and about. And we tried this on a temporary basis, and then it turned into one of these almost, it had to be something we just did every year.
Right. I can remember going out to Frisch's and doing the morning show out there on a number of occasions.
Which I think might have been the first time we took something on the road.
You mean to eat or
for the show?
Not leaving the restaurant with food on the road.
No. I mean leaving the radio station to go to the restaurant to sit down, because at that point in time we had and we talked about the radio station vans last year or last week, and if you remember, the boss had put together this kind of it was PCV pipe that we put on the front and the back of the van and had a banner strung across the top. Yeah. And I remember setting that up at Frisch's. And the late Joe Wise guy, Rick Swiggett, there was no other like him, especially in the sales world, because he not only was a sales guy, he was also at times our morning show how do you say, stunt boy?
Yeah.
We would put him into those circumstances. But if you went to go do a radio broadcast somewhere, a lot of salespeople would sit back and watch you do all the work.
Right.
Not Rick. He was right into it. He did a lot of the physical job and everything. We appreciate that.
Where were some other places that we went to do the morning show?
The Norse Family Dealerships. The managers on the rooftops, the broadcasts we did there, most of those were done in the morning shows. Those created a lot of memories, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun.
I was thinking more of the places where we ate while we were.
Where we, Mike still.
I'm sticking on breakfast.
Closing in on lunchtime. We were at the farmer's breakfast one year.
Yeah. Well, I think we did that actually more than once. We did it one time down at the service center because we were out there in the lobby.
Right.
Seems like we were there.
But the
with
first
them
time
on
we did
another
it
occasion.
was a Bishop Leger. They had it up at the gymnasium there. And was that where the lieutenant governor was there and she stopped by for an interview?
Nancy Hollister, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right, because she was from Marietta.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if we ever did. McDonald's is on my mind today with these colors. I'm trying to think if we ever did one at McDonald's.
I've done sports shows at McDonald's in my radio career, but to be honest with you, I can't remember if we did a breakfast show there.
Jan, sign us up. We're ready. We're ready to take one for the team.
You know, we've not made this public yet, but we have purchased additional equipment that will permit us to go out on the road now. And we've got some stuff in the works that we're excited to tell you about, but we can't tell you just yet.
Take a look.
Because we want to get some sponsorship involved before we roll this out. So If you are interested in learning more, send me a message, and we'll get the details to you. But we're working on something that I think a lot of folks will be happy to hear coming up. And I almost gave it away.
If there's food involved, I'm all in.
There's always food involved.
I will always
Mike's
have a sign.
You bet.
Don't feed the bears. Don't feed the animals. Yeah.
Did you happen to see? And I just got just a snippet of it before I turned the TV off when I went to bed. And there was this bear that was falling from a window at a house. I don't know where it was. I assume it was down in the Smoky Mountains. But this bear had been on the outside of an upper floor window, and it was clinging on to the window sill with its claw, and then managed to pull itself back up into the house. I don't know if it saw, there's nothing else to see up here, and opened the window and started to jump out. I don't know if that's something that someone in the house said, here, open the window, maybe it'll go out. I don't know, but I just saw a snippet of it, and just seeing this probably, 500-pound bear hanging onto the outside of your house.
Wow. I know that if they possibly can get inside, they know how to get into a refrigerator, because I've seen video of them. It's probably like a surveillance camera that was running, and seeing these bears raiding a house, getting in the refrigerator.
And how many times have you seen them at Yellowstone National Park, and they're going through igloo coolers and everything?
So Yogi Bear, there was not a lot of fiction to that. He actually did like his picnic basket.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the program today. Again, if you've missed our special edition of Litter Media Live from earlier today, you can find that now on demand on our video page and also on our YouTube channel. I'll be flying solo tomorrow, but we'll be back together again come Friday, right?
Are you?
I believe so.
Okay.
I do have one obligation in the afternoon.
And had a question mark on Friday.
Yeah.
But I'll be on assignment tomorrow morning up in Asheville.
Yes, he's going to Taze Valley tomorrow. Let's tell him what's going on.
In case people want to get up there to see it. I guess it starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning at their new, what are they calling the new building there?
That I can't tell you. It's a field house, basically, but inside it there's locker rooms for the football team and a whole lot more, weight rooms and everything as well. But I think they can have 6 basketball courts, I think, set up, something like that. And so I'm sure they'll be using that facility and probably utilizing the varsity gymnasium inside the school. But they've got girls basketball tomorrow. More than 30 teams, I believe, will be there. And so Trevor Youngkin invited us up. I couldn't make it, but Mike is sacrificing himself from this show to be able to be there tomorrow. So be watching. We'll have a report for you on that tomorrow. So,
all righty.
Okay. But basketball 9 a.m. until about 7 o'clock tomorrow up in my old stomping grounds up in Asheville. That's it for the program today. Thank you for watching. Back at it again tomorrow with the next edition of Litter Media Live.